Stonefield Query has a number of different report types that you can take advantage of. Currently I'm showing you Stonefield Query for Sage ACPAC, but the same principles apply to any version of Stonefield Query. I'm just going to click on the New button here, which brings up the various types of reports that we can start. We have a quick report type, which are column and rows, where you group and subtotal your report. Crosstab does summarization reports very quickly. Labels or mailing labels, charts or graphs, and pie charts, bar charts, column charts. And external report allows you to run other report types through Stonefield Query. Specifically, crystal reports can be run. The advantage of doing that is it allows you to take advantage of the scheduler that Stonefield Query offers to run both scheduled Stonefield Query reports as well as scheduled crystal reports. So any of these reports here, if we click on it and start OK, we'll start up a wizard which guides us through the 6-step process of creating a report. In later videos, we'll go in depth on how to create these different types of reports and how to set them up. So take a look for those on the video listing there. But on this video, I just want to give you a quick overview of what the different types of reports look like. So I'm going to select one that's already been created from the list here. This is a quick report example. So I'm just going to click on Edit here. And first we'll just run it to take a look at what it looks like here. So here we have a filter condition that's coming up asking us to put in the date range that we want. The user can override and put in whatever date range they want. I'm just working off of the standard ACPAC sample data here. So this is a quick report type, so we've been grouped on customer number and associated the company name into the customer number, so all the transactions are grouped together for each customer. We have the documents listed out here, and we have subtotals on here for the invoice amount, a percentage of total that's added on there, and if we go down the list here, we have that percentage of total. It shows us the percentage of the subtotal makes up of the grand total at the end of the report here as well. Now, off of this report here, we also have a table of contents listing here. This has been put on customer number. You could have it listing out customer name there if you didn't have all your customer numbers memorized, and allows you to click on there to take you to that location in the report. And so that report was created here by the report fields were selected here in step 2 of data selection, and then the grouping was applied by working with the properties of the particular field. So if we just click in here on properties, you can see that we've selected a group on this field. And like I was mentioning, we go into in-depth and step-by-step example of how to create this report in a different video. This one here, just want to give you an overview so you see how this report was created. We then have a filter step here, which was filtering on just the particular document types that we want to see, and then also a filter on the date range. And then we have sorting, and then we have the formatting options that we have here. And the last step of the wizard is security, who can have access to run this report. The one thing I want to point out here, though, is that we have a summary report option that if we turn this on and run the exact same report with that turned on, we actually go back to just seeing the subtotal lines here and just the subtotal fields along with the percentage of totals there. On the report for the sort order, we had said sort in invoice amount in descending order, so that's actually put the top customer sales amount to the top of the list here. Now with these quick report types, is you can actually set up drill down as well. Details again on how to do that is in the a separate video, but I'll show you an example here. This is an example aging report that comes with Stonefield Query, and I'm just going to run that, and it ages out our AR transactions over 30, 60, 90, over 120 days here. But you'll notice that under company name we have a hyperlink that's available, so I can click on this, and what it does is it will open up a details report which allows us to see, well, what transactions made up that total line that we see for that customer. So you can see that breaks down. So we can open up multiple windows here. You can either have multiple windows or keep one window open and just set specific tabs within those windows. That's an options. That's a personal setting. And from there you can even drill down to one step farther. So if we run this report one more time, I could click on here, and then this shows us the transactions. And then from here we can click down, and this drills down into the actual information that was on that particular invoice. So the drill down is really infinite. You can just keep linking from report to report throughout the the report system there. So that's the quick report type, just a quick overview there. The next one on the list there was crosstab, and we'll just take a look here. Here's a salesperson crosstab report, and so if we preview this one, we have our date range that we can put in here. And what this does is it summarizes up information really quickly. So here we have salesperson and their customer and their total sales for 2009 and 2010. Now the way this one was created is if we edit this again and go into the wizard to see how it was made up, is that we grabbed the information from both the customer, salesperson, and documents table here. And then on this particular screen is a little different in that we've specified here that we want to have the salesperson name and customer name listed out here, and we want to total up the invoice amount, and then we want the fiscal year across the top. So if we run this again here, you'll see how that's been broken out there. Now I'm just going to show you that this was a fiscal year across the top. If I pull this one off and I can put document date on here, now I'm going to go and just double clicking to bring up the properties there, that maybe you don't want to just see years from the fiscal years. Maybe you want to see weeks or months or maybe even quarters. Well, if I select quarter here and run this report again, then this tells Stonefield Query to automatically summarize everything out by quarters here. So you can see you can do very quick summarizations on this particular type. You can also do years. Now the difference here is this is your calendar year, where fiscal periods may or may not be with your calendar year. So if we run this again, now we're going to see it summarized by year here. So this is the crosstab type report. We click next here, we have again our filters on there, and I guess mentioned earlier that you can go and watch the video on how to create crosstabs specifically and follow along to create that particular report. Next one on the list is mailing labels. Mailing labels, I'll just take a look at one of the samples that come with Stonefield Query here. Is if we move along next, this is we just grabbed all the address information from the customer table. We can put a filter on here. Right now this report doesn't have any filters on it. You can also do exclude filters. What that does is look for data that does not exist. An example would be is give me all the customers that did not buy a widget, or give me all the customers that did not have an invoice in the last 12 months. And there's a video that's set up to go in more detail on that information as well. But I'm just going to click next here. We have sort options, and then on the step here is you just check the Avery mailing label number from the list. So here we have a 2-up mailing label. So if we run this report, we have 2-up mailing labels. We take care of if there's a blank line, moving it up a line, that sort of thing, and fitting it onto the labels. Maybe you want 3-up mailing labels. You can just select that from the list. And there we go. It's just 3-up mailing labels. So you can see you can do mailing labels quite quickly there. And lastly, or second to last, there's actually an external report I'll show you as well, but there's charting. You can actually embed charts in the first 2 report types of quick report and crosstabs. This is an example here. This is sales history details out of order entry, grabbing the salesperson's code and name and the sales return amount. And if we preview this, we'll take a look at what it looks like here. Here we have a graph of the salesperson's statistics. You can then work with this particular report. This is specified here for the values, what we want to total. The category is the salesperson. For series, you can bring in a date parameter, just like we did on the crosstab there if you wanted to. And then you just specify what type of report that you want. Maybe you want a pie chart, bar chart, and column chart, what have you. And then you can say, well, do I want a legend over there? Maybe you don't. You can actually go in on the labels here and say I want category and value on there, or just the values on the top of each one of those. And you can work with all the characteristics of it. Do you want a background color, that sort of thing. So you can really play around with these charts there as well. And lastly, the other type of report there that we wanted to take a look at was the external report. And this is an example here of running a crystal report through Stonefield Query. So you can set up filtering options and that sort of thing, who can access that particular report. So if I just preview this one, what it does is actually calls the Crystal Runtime Engine. So there it's listed out in the background. And the advantage of doing that is that you can schedule a report. We have a video that goes in more in depth on scheduling, but if we just select one of the reports from the list there, you can go right click schedule report and set it all up to schedule when you want it to run. But that's just a quick overview of the different report types of Stonefield Query offers. And The next video on the list there will go into more in depth of creating an actual quick report and a crosstab report, and going in more depth of the features there that you'd want to take advantage of. For more information on Stonefield Query itself, go to stonefieldquery.com.